Good afternoon. I came outside to the hammock after work. Well, I was actually, after work, I was researching I don't know how I found this, something about the climate change and the global warming for like 1 degrees or 3 degrees by year 2050, and how the sea levels will rise, and then the zombie ice is melting because there's no new ice forming, and it could cover like the whole entire earth with like 37 feet of water. I can't remember what the thing said. But then everything else was saying, well, it's more just like the coastal areas. And so like the Great Lakes region is like a super good place to live for like if global warming and like sea levels rise and stuff like that. Something like this. But I get confused about the part where if that's from a study from like 2020 and they were predicting the 30 years out, I think the zombie ice thing is new, so maybe that changes things. I don't know. I was like, this is unpleasant. Like, I'll be so old by then, pretty much won't matter for me. But I'm like, my kids, they would be about my age, or younger. So I'm like trying to envision like what their life would be like. And that's not, there's all these mosquitoes out here. I get stressed out when I come back out here because the garage is not painted, and then I see all the weeding I have to do, and I cannot do everything inside the house and outside of the house. It's too much on me. I wish I had like a system for the outside of the house stuff, like these days of the week we do whatever home maintenance stuff that a man should be doing for me, and like these are the zones, and these are like your routines for like home maintenance. Like, I need that. I wish I had that, because I have a system for like cleaning, but I don't have a system for painting the garage and all the stuff that is like hard and boring. Super annoying. I don't know. Maybe I'll go get paint tonight. But I'm on here to say that I researched the worldly stuff from whatever I was talking about last night, about like, why does everyone talk about not being worldly, and how much of that is from the Pilgrim's Progress book and how much of it is from like the Bible. So of course I Googled it. Google really helps me with my Christianity because I learn a lot from Google. And so then the parts in the Bible that talk about the worldly stuff is 1 Corinthians 3:3. It talks about you're still worldly because you're all quarreling and fighting. And then 1 John 2:15, don't love the world or anything in it. Colossians 3:2, set your mind on things above, not on earthly things. And James 4:4, friendship with the world is like being an enemy with God. So that's where he's getting it from for the in the book The Pilgrim's Progress. That's where people are getting the like, don't be so worldly. Anyway, and then I deleted 25,000 photos from my phone and iCloud storage today because it kept telling me my iCloud storage was full, probably because I've been making all these videos. But so I deleted all the videos I made, like, so if YouTube gets rid of them, they're gone. But and then that didn't work. That wasn't enough. So then I realized, okay, of all my photos, 25,000 of them are screenshots. I apparently I have like a screenshot addiction where Or even this, like when I was researching the Bible passages for like which ones talk about this stuff, or when I was researching the global warming stuff, I take screenshots along the way. Like I think it will help me remember, like taking notes, what I was reading. But I never go back and look. And I know there's stuff on my screenshots that I have taken over the years that I would in theory like to have still. But 25,000 screenshots is a bit much. I don't even have that much actual real photos. So I deleted them all. I was just like, well, I'm going to just get rid of them today. Just clean up that storage and, you know, not have to worry about upgrading my storage. And I don't need to keep that. So I felt like a declutter of like all my photos was in order. So now, then I take a bunch of like regular photos that are kind of similar to screenshots. Like when I went to IKEA the other day, I took like photos of all the different tags of the items that I wanted to buy, so I would know what bin and aisle it was in if I decided to buy it, instead of writing it down on their little piece of paper and thing and pencil thing that they give you. Now, of course, I didn't buy any. I bought one mattress, that's it. But now I've got all these like actual photos of that kind of junk that is very similar to what my screenshots were filled up with. So I probably should go through my photos little by little and get rid of that crap. So I'm really actually only saving photos. I don't have a good photo system. That's a huge like regret of mine. Like I didn't stay updated with like printing out photos or doing photo albums or doing scrapbooks or putting it into some organized system for my kids. Or like I always feel like I should do that. One child is a full-grown adult now, so that's a lot of years to go backwards, recreate history. One child just has high school left, so we could finish on a high note for her, but I don't know. And then, because I used to have, you know, it was like the switch to digital happened while they were growing up, so it was easier to film, and then I had a regular camera, and even that was easier. And then once I got a phone, I was really late to get a cell phone. I didn't have a cell phone. Everyone else had a cell phone. I didn't have a cell phone for years and years. And but then once I did get a phone, a lot of my photos were on there. But I always had a really bad, crappy phone. So a lot of my photos now, like digitally, the quality is really blurry. It's just I feel like it just ruined all their memories growing up. And then now I have a better phone, but apparently the kids, they're always like, look at my Samsung photos are so great, look at your iPhone photos are just nowhere near as good. And they're always like insulting my iPhone photos, but I'm like, I like the iPhone has the live, so I like my iPhone photos, but their Samsung photos really are very good. So I don't know, that's just a regret I have, that I didn't do better at my like photo management systems. But that's besides the point. Anyway, so I just wanted to give the update about the worldly stuff, and then we can read one devotional and be done. Then I have to go. I still didn't deal with the cat pee. I don't even want to discuss that. Beware of, this is Jesus calling for moms. Beware of overthinking things, obsessing about unimportant matters. Obsessing. I don't think I obsess. But anyway. When your mind is idle, you tend to go into planning mode, attempting to figure things out and make various decisions before you really need to do so. This is an unproductive way of trying to grasp control, and it's a waste of your precious time. Often you end up changing your mind or forgetting what you decided. There's a time for planning, but it's definitely not all the time, or even most of it. Seek to live in the present moment, where my presence awaits you continually. Refresh yourself in my nearness, letting my love soak into your innermost being. Relax with me, putting aside problems, so you can be attentive to me and receive more of my love. Your soul thirsts for me, but often you don't realize what you're really longing for. Awareness of my presence. Let me lead you beside quiet waters and restore your soul. Just as lovers don't need to say much to communicate deeply, so it is in your relationship with me, the lover of your soul. so that Christ may dwell in your hearts through faith. And I pray that you, being rooted and established in love, may have power, together with all the saints, to grasp how wide and long and high and deep is the love of Christ, and to know this love that surpasses knowledge, that you may be filled to the measure of all fullness of God. Ephesians 3:17 through 19. O God, you are my God. Early I will seek you. My soul thirsts for you. My flesh longs for you in a dry and thirsty land where there is no water. Psalm 63:1. He makes me lie down in green pastures. He leads me beside quiet waters. He restores my soul. He guides me in paths of righteousness for his name's sake. Psalm 23. I think pretty much everyone knows Psalm 23. Maybe not, though. That's that. It's nice to be out here. Apparently I don't have to plan for the flooding of the earth that will happen. May or may not happen in the next 30 years. I can just live in the moment. But I do live nearest the Great Lakes region, or maybe I'm in the Great Lakes region. I am in the Great Lakes region, so therefore I'm good no matter what. Or not, I don't know. I could get hit by a bus tomorrow. Anyway, I don't know why I always say that. They taught us that at work. They were like, you should work in such a way where if you were to get hit by a bus tomorrow, in essence, like somebody else could take over for you instantaneously. You know, like don't work in a way where if you're gone, now the agency is struggling because nobody can figure out what you were doing. So I always say that I could get hit by a bus tomorrow. One time I said that to somebody, and then I was at a doctor's office, and the doctor looked at me like, don't say that, like that's morbid. But I've been saying that for 20 years, but they trained me that at work. If you could get hit by a bus tomorrow, work in such a way where your coworkers can take over, because they're trying to protect the functioning of the business, you know. But anyway, that's it. That's all I have to say. I'm gonna start getting up a little earlier in the morning. I've realized this thing I do where I like sleep in till 8 o'clock, practically, you know, 7:55, and then start working at 8 o'clock isn't really good for my routines. Like I'm not getting anything done because I wake up then and I'm working instantly, and then it's already, you know, 4:35 at night, and I feel like I spend my breaks and lunchtime just eating breakfast, lunch, and taking a shower and not doing anything. So I'm trying to like get back used to waking up, you know, 6:30-ish or so. So it gives me like an hour and a half before work to do basic things. And I think that, again, the school year and tomorrow being September 1st is going to help like kind of get that back on track. I feel like we kind of, I don't know, fell into a weird habit this summer. Anyway, have a good day. Bye.